mother, daughter of a cab driver who graduated from Montgomery Blair High School and pursued a career in the courtroom. In my immigrant family, I didn't have an easy upbringing. My parents were determined to raise my brother and me right here in Montgomery County for better opportunities that they didn't have. I was fortunate to get a law degree from Howard University and work now as a defense attorney in the criminal justice system. As a former prosecutor, I know the system doesn't work for everyone. As a community advocate, I've always focused on the root causes of crime and reimagining public safety for all of us. Criminal justice reform requires new ideas, experience, and a commitment to transformative policies from someone who is ready to lead on day one. Our communities can't wait for reform, and that's why I'm running for state's attorney for Montgomery County with friends, family, and supporters with me. Visit my website at Mireku-North.com to learn more, stay in touch, and to donate. Paid for and authorized by friends of Bernice, Mireku-North, Angelique Olivares, Treasurer.
Well, thank you so much for indulging with that video. It's a little, it's taken over a year ago, but gives you a sense of who I am and my roots in Montgomery County. And that video touched on one of the reasons why I decided to run for state's attorney. As a former prosecutor and currently criminal defense attorney with my own law practice, I know the system is not for everyone. When I was a prosecutor in Anne Arundel County State's Attorney's Office, I remember seeing immigrants totally get railroaded by some of these crimes that they were accused of doing. For instance, I would see Latino immigrants getting charged with driving without a license back when it was a jailable offense, and they would be facing 60 days maximum and get the full 60 days because they weren't able to get the license. And not having a fair outcome was what really would upset me as a prosecutor. So when I became a criminal defense attorney, I was always thinking in my mind, I have to make sure we're having fair outcomes no matter who's involved in the system. And that's what has always driven me to stay in the criminal justice sector and what led me to be an advocate in the community. When I was a prosecutor in Anne Arundel County, I also served, as mentioned in my bio, as chair of the Silver Spring Citizens Advisory Board. But during that time on the advisory board, we were dealing with issues of criminal justice reform, particularly for our youth. I remember there was an argument over, a fight over youth curfew legislation. And as a prosecutor, I could have said, well, yes, that's another tool to get to the heart of the matter and make sure persons are held accountable. But I did not believe in over-criminalizing our youth. So I worked with other stakeholders across the region, civic leaders, youth leaders, principals, the police, to try to come up with an alternate to the problem of dealing with youth crime. And so we were managed to defeat the curfew and fight for more money for positive youth development. And that's the kind of prosecutor I wish I had seen at that time with State's Attorney's Office, but that was not the case. And fast forward to almost a couple of years ago with the Reimagining Public Safety Task Force work that I was co-chairing, I saw a big disconnect, an even deeper one than I realized, between a lot of the community leaders on criminal justice issues and the status quo. And it was a division that I just couldn't ignore. I agreed with a lot of the efforts of our community leaders to change our system, to make it more fair and equitable for all communities. And we need someone who's an actual fighter in that. And I've been a proven leader and fighter on those issues as a prosecutor and as a criminal defense attorney. And the reason why I decided to run for State's Attorney's Office right now is that I don't think we can wait for change. I have the right vision, leadership, and learned and professional experiences and lived experiences to really move Montgomery County forward to a more fair system for everyone involved. Now, some of my ideas include becoming more transparent in the office, and that includes creating a public dashboard where we're addressing the prosecutorial decisions in the office, and that includes what plea offers are made and what the sentencing are for certain cases. I also want to tackle mass incarceration. I think we need a prosecutor who's not afraid to talk about that and address those issues and all the things that come with it. And that includes making sure that we hire a diversion coordinator at the start of the process, but if not pre-trial and pre-arrest, to determine what community resources are a better fit to hold someone accountable as opposed to putting someone through the system. And that's something that I want to introduce to the office if elected. And that has been done in other jurisdictions in this region with federal funding, because there's federal funding out there clamoring for opportunities to reinvent the way we're doing criminal justice reform. One other aspect I wanted to bring to the office is really dealing with restorative justice. And that's going to include increasing funding for mediation and for victim witness assistance. For a population of over 1 million, for a population of where we are 1 in 3 foreign born, there's a little amount of victim witness assistance in that office. I get constant calls on the campaign from immigrant communities, families of the accused or families of the victim, just trying to figure out how the system works. And it shouldn't take a candidate to have that comfort level. I think that's a reflection of the lack of diversity in the office. So that's something else I want to bring to the office, not just expand the money for mediation and victim witness assistance staff, but diversify the staff generally. I am looking forward to hiring more Latino lawyers. I cannot wait for the opportunity, because I think it really needs to reflect the people that are actually going through the system, as well as the community. I think that's going to bode well to improve public safety in Montgomery County through the role of state's attorney. So those are some of my ideas and some of the reasons why I decided to run for this seat now.